Okay, quick, later than usual Thursday morning radar update. Time is running away from me. So, efficient markets, big pop higher, just drifting back into the range. FTSE 100's had a good move there, hasn't it? Just pulling back in after that gap up. 250, strong open, strong price action, and the small caps actually gap down a little bit and just close the gap straight away, and strong action there as well. So move on from there. We'll quickly have a look at cable, just coiling in that little area there just to have a quick look, and then we'll move on to this is probably in the larger caps, not that it's a large cap, it's a mid cap, but in the where is it, VLX, this is the news today. So I was sent over the edge a little bit this morning, not by this stock actually, but this just made a great example. Don't take it to heart when I post comedy tweets. Some people don't take them for what they are. But I was pushed off the edge on a whole valuation case on a trending stock. I'm not in it actually, but you know, I know some people are in it, and it's a stock that's doing fantastically well, trending strongly, doing normal action. And I read a whole investment case on an intraday opening spread, an illiquid share with probably a 3-4% spread, no trades trading, big wide opening spread, and I read an investment case on that intraday price action. So, and it wasn't a bullish one either. So, you know, what am I trying to get? This is aimed at the newer investor. There's a lot of newer investors around at the moment. You know, they've not been in the trenches very long. It's easy to take all this fantastically sounding information, and it's easy to turn into a little bit of a, you know, crazy horsefly, buzzing around in and out of the position, you know, making investment cases on what turns out to be 5-minute can bars or whatever, you know. At the end of the day, you got to zone out the noise, and being popular and making money in the markets are very different things. Very different skills. So, what did we have on this one, VLX? Well, when you get on VLX, it's actually, I'll just go through, you know, what I'm trading towards on this. It's got fantastic Q-on-Q numbers, half on half, depending on what this one posts. Apart from the turnover was pretty average. It's got fantastic year-on-year numbers, earnings per share, you know, profit, huge, sort of trading towards some huge numbers there, accelerating numbers as well, and turnover, though accelerating, pretty lethargic. Well, it shows 17% on ShareScope forward turnover, and it expects to beat that, so it puts it up into that area where you start to get a little bit more interested. Not that important what the numbers are, you know. Once you get over, say, 25% forward numbers, you know, it just goes into a zone that, in my world, you know, everything what's trading above that sort of forward number is probably going to be in one of the better sort of stocks across the board, I would say, as well, for all numbers. But if you know, if there's a lot of stocks trading around, you know, 9, 15, well, 9, 13%, whatever, you know, but there's only so many stocks what are trading towards fantastic real growth, and the turnover on this is going to beat 17% forward, so it's the most meaningful figure You know, this is that in pictures. You know, it's already accelerating. It's expected to accelerate a bit more. Don't bother with 2 years out. We've had that conversation. You know, a lot can change between now and 2 years. Pre-tax already, it's a huge tick up. You know, acquisitions have an effect on things like this. I don't care where the numbers come from. All I care that I'm trading the best stocks I can find. So what happens? You get this report. It's a popular stock. It's got a little bull flag above the base there. You basically, you know, the market on open. Basically, how these things work is people read the news, people put their orders in the market before they go to work. The uncrossing trade of the market is the trade what matches all the orders. So if there's an imbalance, you know, good news, there's a buying balance. It has to go up to the next raft of stop orders or sell orders to collect those shares. You know, it has to match the shares, and those shares will be matched until I think it's 2 minutes before the market opens. You know, you can put orders in. In those 2 minutes, the uncrossing trade is posted. Sometimes you get a delay when there's just too much activity and the market is, you know, delayed open. But usually it's, you know, takes 2 minutes. They match all those orders. The market gaps up, gaps down, whatever it does. That's what you get. So the market gaps up on a pretty, I wouldn't say liquid share, but it doesn't trade a huge amount of shares, does it? Apart from on news days. So on average, if it opens with a wide spread, you're not going to get many orders being filled, and the market makers can take advantage of that. As the spread tightens, I should bring up my spread chart really. You know, the spread will tighten. It might look like the price is trading way off where it is, and that might just be the wide spread. But basically, the market just comes back to earth. The range posts, the market finds its sort of feet, and then we all move on happily ever after. Within that time of the 30-minute first hour range being posted, an unbelievable amount of very clever information will come out on this share. And at the end of the day, people put orders in before the market. It gapped up. It drifted back into. Basically, I don't think it went negative. If you look at the intraday, it might have gone negative by about half a pence. If you look at the actual, you know, where you could have bought. And nothing really changes. It is what it is. And what you find is news days. I would say news days, noise days, because all the noise and all the opinions are executed in that sort of, well, an unbelievable amount of opinions are executed in the market on those days. And then the stock will just go about its normal business, trading how stocks trade. You know, nothing changed. Well, a stock could trade this, and absolutely nothing has changed. It's just a stock trading like a stock. And obviously, you know, there's some news in the mix there, so something changed somewhere. But in fact, I don't think anything changed in the whole period until today. And the stock still did that. So you just got to remember, what are you? Are you an investor? Well, if you're an investor, you might as well look at it like that. You really might as well. You know, are you riding trends? You know, I like to look at the monthly, weekly, and I do execute on a daily close, but, you know, just do that. Just put the weekly up. What's it trying to do? Well, it's actually trying to close above the base on a monthly stick. That's pretty good. We'll see how it goes. You know, anywhere in the right side is normal action, but a lot of it. You know, a stock will trade like a stock. Nothing will change. But obviously stocks move up and down on opinions, don't they? So unbelievable amount of noise on news days. I always say, you know, my sort of way of teaching is just whatever it is, let the market settle. You know, if this news was bad news and then the forward numbers are going to be good news, it might do this and then it might be off on its journey towards the good news again. Just keep looking forward. Don't look in the rearview mirror too much. You know, you're going to have more crashes if you're looking out the rearview mirror and not looking where you're going, aren't you? And that's how stocks work. You know, they like to be looking where they're going. So let's move on from there. It's 11:05. We should have traded 36% to be on average volume. That would be around 55% to be on conviction. 36%. Today's volume leader would be VLX. Obviously, the most investor-friendly stocks are the ones that get the most froth on news days as well. And I did want to actually sort of just, you know, the old classic AMS is one that was extremely good to me on a number of occasions, and especially this area here. I remember that it was, you know, probably on this gap up here where the shares magazines and the tip sheets were overvaluing it. They started overvaluing it right on the breakout, and I was involved from here and I rode this stock. It was a huge winner for me, but it was overvalued, and they told a recent one, you know, this was the sell case on this one. It's up 50% still since, I think it was someone told me a newspaper had put a sell rating on it or something. It's up 50% since that sell rating, so can't remember who it was, but you know, that's what you got to deal with. Are you here to make money in investing, or are you here to read stories? Because stories, you know, everyone's writing stories, but you know, making money is a very different game. Get some good charting. Just believe what you see in your eyes. So, you know, this one ticks high on my list, but is it getting the I don't know what's happening in that one. Moving on. I just want to get into the small caps today, actually. I expect there's a lot running again. Into the small caps. What did I say? 36% should have been traded. %. Some pretty good volume in the small caps again. There's 71 in here. I'll just buzz through these. I'll have a industrial metals. Obviously, metals are doing pretty well at the moment. I just want to do a little bit of a jump over. Let me go and have a look at UUP. So the dollar comes in. The other side of the seesaw is commodities. So as that comes down, commodities get a little bit frothy. So we're seeing metal stocks doing well today. Obviously we see it in the screens as well. So I'll just buzz through these in order of sector. Obviously I'm looking for stocks what are emerging, not what are already trending. SRC, I think that's had news on it again. Already trending, we're involved. Blinkers on. Trailing the risk management behind us. COG, this one's starting to really crank it up for those who are riding this one. I'm not in this one. TSTL, right side of a possible base again. I will tick this one in as well. TSTL. Yeah, it doesn't trade towards what I'm sort of it's ticking up but decelerating on every cylinder, basically, that one is. So obviously, you know, when I get involved in a stock, I put it in trail mode. I try and enter trades so I can get that slingshot, and a slingshot in a small cap is usually, you know, 20-25% plus before you get to the results. If they, you know, can be a lot more, can be less as well, but it's nice to get that slingshot into the results, and I just try and enter trades towards the best forward numbers, best numbers I follow. ELIX still going. Staff line moving on up there. That's a lose less scenario. Yeah, just not gonna. I might as well take my alarm off and just wait to see it in the screens again. This was a bit of a focus stock, but I didn't want to step in front of the results on it, and then on the results day it just shot up so fast. GTRS leader though. Mission marketing basing out there. This one's ticking down in the forward numbers. SDI. This is another good example of noise. You know, I'm not sure what was said about this one yesterday, but I'm sure there was lots of investment cases about this stock yesterday. And did it do? What did it do? This is the spread. I know the director sold and then had to buy back, and that wasn't done on the market. That was done behind the scenes, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, you know, this is the spread. It just drifted off down on a few orders. And, you know, you've got to remember, institutions take time to build or exit positions, and they can push something down on low volume in the low volume times of the market, and then they can buy it back up in volume. So the reason we get bases in the market, you know, intraday or, you know, multiple sort of week bases like we like to look for, is because, you know, the big players can keep them in that basing action for some time. If they haven't got a full position, they can just knock it back into the base every time it pops its head up. So it's important to sort of think outside that noise. BKS, fantastic. I actually don't want it to break out yet. I want it to coil. I think, did Will say the same thing? I'll have to go and catch up. But yeah, I don't really want it to break out yet. Interseed, very thin numbers, ticking up. Do your own research. I think if you bought it down here on this first retrace, this was one of the ones, what was a key stock in the small caps as the market crashed, because this is what the market crash did to this stock. It brought it down to this very big level, and the market ran out of breath on the downside around this area, and big high volume swing point, up it went, came back in, another swing point here, up it went, little base, and then it just went off on its journey. It's not exactly ripping higher, is it? But, you know, nobody complains. About 100% gain in a year period. TWD partner, moving on. And that's what's in the volume leaders this morning. It's a fantastic day again. What's ripping today? LUC is breaking out. WATR, SRC, BKS, MRL, SDI, CLX, KNOS, VLX. What's down? Idea. 0.5, clipper 0.2. Fantastic. Okay.